Hello, 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 beloveds. Welcome, welcome. What an amazing and great day it is to be alive. My name is Sunshine Day, and welcome to a spiritual remedy, conversations, and meditation. I see a world where clean and sober people are living their best life and loving it. And so, what I get an opportunity to do on Mondays and Wednesdays on my time here with you is I get to provide spiritual tools and loving support for personal transformation. You see, I'm on a quest to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And this is one of the ways that brings me great joy, is to do something like this. Now, our time today, this 30 minutes, is dedicated and geared toward those in recovery. However, you don't have to be in recovery to benefit from this spiritual program. It is indeed for everyone, and it has its benefits for all. So here we are. What are we? Today is December the 21st. I'm over here looking at my calendar. And welcome to winter solstice. Winter solstice. And today is the first day of winter, right? We've been having some chilly days in different parts of the world. And in some parts of the world, it is not even winter at all. So I just want to acknowledge that here in the U.S., we're experiencing our beginning of winter. You know that the word solstice is actually comprised of two words or two parts. The first being sol, S-O-L, which is kind of my name in Spanish, sol, which means the sun, and solstice, which means standing or the standing still, or to stand in. And what's interesting about today being winter solstice and the first day of winter is that it is so in alignment with our monthly theme of bliss and joy. Because today being the shortest day, now mind you, they call it the shortest day because the sun is out the least amount of time. But this is an opportunity for us to begin within, which is boom, boom, boom. There you go. It's the title of my book, Begin Within, a playbook for living your genuine life. And that is exactly what winter solstice is really about. And that if we never leave the basics, we never have to go back to the basics, right? It's about beginning within and looking within. In the wintertime, as you can see, some of the leaves of the trees, they fall off. And it seems like what's happening is that the energy of the tree is now focused within, on the inside. It's resting, it's rejuvenating. It is actually discovering and uncovering and recovering the fullness of what it is. It is indeed life at its fullest. And so this time of rest, this time of solstice, this time where people have an opportunity to where all of life has an opportunity, and you have an opportunity to actually go within, to actually recognize and see what's within you. Hey, good morning, Cindy Soto. It was so good to see you. So good to see you. Hi, Laura and Holly and Bertha. I'm grateful for this time as well. What I was thinking about as we're looking at our monthly theme of bliss is, how do we use winter solstice and this idea of going within to recognize our indwelling joy, that indwelling power and presence that is life itself. You see, this weekend I was thinking about some old gospel songs. It's so crazy, sometimes with all the holiday spirit that's happening, there's a lot of Christmas songs happening and playing. But I was reminded of a song that it said, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. wow, like what might that be like to sing this joy that I have? The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. To know and to stand and to be so steeped in knowing that my joy is indwelling. It is my natural state. That's what I'm talking about. And irrespective of what's happening outside of us, around us, in the exterior world, it doesn't matter. We can actually bring joy to situations. We can bring joy to the sadness. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not talking about a spiritual bypass. And what I mean by spiritual bypass is I'm not saying, oh, there's nothing wrong here, Ma. No, that tornado didn't do anything. No, that's not what I'm saying. That would be considered spiritual bypass. And I'm not encouraging spiritual bypass, but what I am encouraging is a deep dive within yourself to uncover what has been there, what is your birthright, and to then live from that place. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can be sad about, right? And there are things happening around us in our own families and our surroundings that are super sad. And sadness and joy are not exclusive. Like, they don't exclude one another. I can still feel sadness about the conditions in the world today and still experience my joy. Now, some of you think, that might be pretty hard. Let me know if you've ever done that before. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it. That's the song, Peggy. That's the song. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. Now, but have you ever experienced sadness and joy simultaneously? Meaning that you can be sad about a particular occurrence or something that's going on, but that it still doesn't touch the indwelling presence and joy. If you have, go ahead and write about that in the chat. Here's one of the things that I wanted to share with you in our monthly topic around joy. And that comes from the inspirational message that I wrote for this particular topic. It says, our happiness, joy, and bliss exists within us. The idea that something outside of us is responsible for our bliss must be eliminated right now. Now, there are things that make me smile. And that's because they tap into those things that I value, right? They tap into that value that I have about joy. But the moment that I put my joy and my power out there for somebody else, that someone else is responsible for my joy, I'm behind the eight ball. Like, that is not how we need to live, or it is not the healthiest, especially when we're in recovery, and especially when we're getting free from intoxicants. Right now, I love talking about intoxicants because this is not just about drugs and alcohol. This is about being free from all intoxicants, being free from all discord. I know that Ernest Holmes talks about a freedom that comes from all discord, meaning that anything that is unlike our highest and our best, we get to cut any strings of attachment. We get to cut that away and sever it off. That doesn't belong to us. And when we begin to look within, and when we begin to have a practice that puts us in direct connection with, because by the way, we're never disconnected from our joy. It might be covered up with calamity, with strife, with all kinds of doom and gloom, but it is the nature of our being. It is the nature of our being. And at this time of year, when we enter into winter, and as we celebrate winter solstice, and as we think about all of the people that are no longer with us on the planet, right? There's a sense of sadness. And even with that sense of sadness, I'm inviting you to tap into that your sense of sadness is in direct response to the sense of joy that you experience with these beloveds. Is that there is so much joy. I think about my abuelita Candida Vidal, right? You know, who would have been 110 this month, right? And I think about how sad I am that she's no longer in my life on the physical plane. And yet that sadness comes from remembering and being connected with her in the joy and in the love, right? And when I'm still enough to actually then tap into both, like, oh yeah, I'm sad that she's not with me, but oh my gosh, how we laughed. And in my tradition, in my ethnic culture, from the island of Puerto Rico, my grandmother used to make pasteles. And pasteles are very similar to tamales, but it's a Puerto Rican dish that around this time we would have and we would partake in, and people would make these and then distribute them, and we'd have them around the holidays. Amazing. And when I think about the pasteles that I used to help my grandmother make from time to time, or that she would make with so much love, oh my gosh, that little joy light inside of me is like so lighting up. Do I miss her? Yes, but that joy light is so lighting up, remembering and reminiscing on the pasteles. And so the joy is where I bring my focus. I'm not denying the sadness, and that's not what I'm asking us to do, but I am asking us to face the direction of what it is we want to be experiencing, especially now, a time where in Southern California, people are experiencing, high rates of coronavirus and lockdowns, and all over the country and all over the world, we're seeing all kinds of things that are happening. And if we focus on that, especially as people who have been prone to addiction in the past, those were always really good reasons to pick up a drink. And now for me, it's just like, it's no longer a reason to pick up a drink or to get stressed out or to indulge in binge watching, television, Netflix, movies. It's not a time to pick up smoking cigarettes and those habits, those things that distract us from being present. In actuality, what's happening and what's occurring around us is actually a call for us to remain sober, meaning clear-minded, free from the intoxicants, and to actually bring our awareness and our focus within now. Same as winter solstice, right? It's the time to honor and acknowledge. I love Bertha's comment right here. It says, I love that. Sadness comes from the joy and unconditional love I was so blessed to experience. Thank you, Bertha. I appreciate that recognition, because that is indeed what is up for us. And in great honor of winter solstice and that idea of looking within, I want to acknowledge that today I'm also giving away copies of my book to someone who's adding all those comments. There's somebody that will get my book, Begin Within, today. Last week we had two winners. We had Gloria and Korn, who are getting an autographed copy of my book. Today is the same. So stay tuned. Tomorrow I'll post that on my at Official Sunshine Day. That's where you can find me all the time. Official Sunshine Day. That's where the streaming will happen, and that's where you can find today's winner of my book giveaway. I'm giving away a book all the time. Diane's going, me, pick me. And thank you, Cindy. Cindy says it's not healthy to dwell in sadness. You know, it's not healthy to dwell. Now, I love the word dwell. Dwell is like dwelling, right? Like living, like you make it your home, right? It's okay to experience sadness, but it's not okay to dwell in it. It actually begins to do the opposite of joy, which is, you know, despair, right? And we want to experience our joy. So, again, it's time to assume the position. And what is that position? Well, winter solstice and our winter time is now about going within. And we're going to take some time to go within ourselves. So I'm going to invite you to take a breath with me. Breathing in through your nose. And right where you are, as you exhale, make that sound. It's almost like this shushing sound. Breathe in again through your nose. Studies show that that shushing sound is actually the sound that a fetus hears when its mother is breathing. And it's a sense of security and silence and peace. And so it's there that we're going. Notice right away how your mind begins to shut down and it just becomes quiet. You might even tell yourself it's just time to get quiet just for a moment. We're simply bringing our energy within. We're actually now picking the fruits of the darkness, of the rejuvenation. We're actually enjoying the fruits of the silence. You might have not ever thought of it that way. But there are benefits. The fruits of silence. The fruits of the stillness and the darkness. And it doesn't matter what's happening around us. Whether we hear the birds chirping, cars on a busy street, an airplane overhead, our neighbors talking, music playing. The focus is within. And I'm going to invite you to go just a little deeper today. I'm going to invite you to be so still and so focused and so quiet to see if you can actually either hear or feel your heart beating within your body. There it is. You might even hold 2 fingers over your wrist so you can feel it and that it might assist you. There you go. We're just going to be here for a few more minutes, a few more moments. Notice that even with the external noises and sounds, that you can actually feel your heartbeat. And now just put a smile on your face. Isn't it true that that heartbeat is the most joyful heartbeat ever? Ah, my heart is beating. I'm alive. My heart is beating. I don't even have to remind it to do so. There's this indwelling power and presence that is beating my heart as me. Mm-hmm. The most loving thing we can do for ourselves is take just a few minutes like this each day and begin within to feel that joy, that indwelling bliss, to acknowledge life within us, to set our intention for the day. From here, what is my intention for the rest of the day? This is what you've uncovered and discovered. And this is indeed what you recover. You recover your full self. And now from this place of joy, because your heart is beating, right? It's like that is a joyful noise. Gently, gently now. Just begin to open your eyes with that smile on your face. And behold the world around you with that same joy. Like, what if we could see the world like this with these eyes more often? Who would I be if I lived this way more and more? How would I show up in the world if I actually prepared myself to live this way all the time? Well, beloveds, it's possible, and we can do it together. And I'm here to support you in that. And so today, make this the most amazing day possible. This is the best day ever because it's the day that we have. And as we celebrate and acknowledge the first day of winter here in the USA, as we acknowledge winter solstice, let us take some time throughout the day to begin within over and over and over again. Know that you are loved and supported. Remember to follow me and like my page at Official Sunshine Day on Facebook. And know that you are loved and supported always. On my page, Official Sunshine Day, is where I'll post the winner of today's book so that you can get it in the mail in the next couple of days. Stay tuned for more. Know that you are loved and supported. Bye for now. Hello, beloveds. I see a world where clean and sober people are living their best life and loving it. That's why on January the 10th, 2021, which is my 34-year sober anniversary, I'm hosting a mini retreat, January the 10th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. It's Uncover, Discover, Recover. And you can find your tickets at aspiritualremedy.com. That's aspiritualremedy.com. And there we're going to have a blast as we celebrate my 34 years of sobriety. So it's 34 for 34 or your best donation. Can't wait to see you with me. Bye for now.
Celebrate life. You celebrate your life. Celebrate the memories, the birds and the trees, the hugs and the kisses, the hits and the misses.
Don't wait till it's too late.
Don't wait till it's too late.
Love and appreciate.
Love and appreciate.
Show them that you care.
Show them that you care, and you'll always be there. Celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice, celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice, celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice, celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice.